happiness is a lie you were sold? What if I told you chasing happiness is exactly why you feel so empty? You've been sold this shiny, Instagram-filtered fantasy. Smile more, think positive, manifest joy, and you bought it. But Dostoevsky? He'd look you dead in the eye and say, that's your problem. In Notes from Underground, he doesn't paint happiness as some noble pursuit. He rips it apart. He writes about a man who knows what's supposed to make him happy and hates himself for not feeling it. That's the trap. You follow the rules, do what you're told will bring joy, get the job, the partner, the apartment with the exposed brick, and yet you wake up feeling like something's rotting underneath. Because deep down, you know it's all fake. You're not a malfunctioning machine in need of a gratitude app. You're human, messy, irrational, sometimes miserable on purpose, just to prove you're still free. Ever notice how you rebel against what should make you happy? Like you self-sabotage when things are going too well? That's not weakness. That's a signal. Happiness isn't some final destination where everything's perfect. A leash disguised as a carrot. And you, yes you, deserve better than chasing some filtered illusion until you collapse from exhaustion. So here's the real question. If happiness isn't the goal, then what is? Let's pull that thread in the next section, because what we're about to uncover goes even deeper. The happiness delusion of modern society. You ever wonder why, with more tools than ever to be happy, everyone seems more miserable? Modern society sells you this glossy brochure of happiness. Sunsets, six-packs, vision boards, and daily affirmations. Scroll through Instagram and it's all perfect smiles, Bali retreats, morning smoothies. The message? If you're not beaming 24/7, something's wrong with you. But here's the twist. While everyone's chasing that dopamine high, mental health stats are falling off a cliff. Depression, anxiety, burnout, through the roof. Let's be real. That #blessed lifestyle? It's curated, manufactured. You're seeing the highlight reel, not the breakdown behind the scenes. And it's not just influencers. Entire industries, from self-help books to mental performance podcasts, are banking on your insecurity. They promise hacks and habits and one simple trick to finally feel whole. But all they're really selling is a more expensive version of the same lie, that happiness is a product you can earn, achieve, or unlock like it's a damn video game. Meanwhile, real life? It's messy, it's uncertain, and sometimes it hurts. No amount of gratitude journaling is gonna fix existential dread. You can't patch a spiritual crisis with a to-do list and a green juice. The irony is, the more you chase happiness like it's a prize, the more it slips away. Because in doing so, you're treating your very humanity like a glitch to be optimized. So if the modern blueprint is broken, what do we build instead? Stick with me, because in the next part, we dig into the real roots of fulfillment and why they've got nothing to do with a dopamine hack. Suffering is the price of consciousness. Here's the uncomfortable truth. To be human is to suffer. Not because you're broken, not because you're failing at life, but because you're awake. Dostoevsky didn't shy away from this. He dove straight into the fire. In the freezing, hungry streets of 19th century Russia, he wrote about characters like Raskolnikov in Crime and Punishment, a man tormented by guilt, morality, and the terrifying freedom of choice. This isn't suffering as punishment, it's suffering as awakening. Because when you start to question the world, really question it, you stop being numb, you stop playing the game. And that hurts. But here's what no one tells you. Pain is the signal that you're alive. The underground man rants, contradicts himself, lashes out. Not because he's lost, but because he sees too much. He's not content with the shallow promises of comfort. He's wrestling with the chaos underneath. And so are you, whether you admit it or not. Every doubt you feel, every inner conflict, every sleepless night, it's not weakness, it's awareness. Consciousness doesn't come cheap, it demands discomfort. But that discomfort, that's where transformation begins. So the next time you're suffering, don't just medicate it away. Sit with it, listen, ask what it's trying to show you. Because sometimes the pain is the truth knocking. Now let's go deeper, because Dostoevsky wasn't the only one with a torch in the dark. Nietzsche saw a different danger. What happens when we try to escape that suffering altogether? Nietzsche and the cult of comfort. Let's get one thing straight. Nietzsche didn't think comfort was a virtue. In fact, he saw it as a kind of slow spiritual death. While everyone else was chasing safety, ease, and stability, Nietzsche was screaming from the mountaintop, "You were made to climb, not coast." His concept of the will to power wasn't about controlling others. It was about overcoming yourself, evolving, struggling forward through chaos, not curling up in a warm, padded cage. But look around today. We've built a culture of bubble wrap, mental, emotional, even ideological. You're told to avoid discomfort at all costs. Feel sad? There's an app for that. Feel challenged? Block it, cancel it, mute it. This is what Nietzsche called slave morality, a mindset obsessed with peace, obedience, and playing it safe. It flatters the weak and punishes the strong. In contrast, master morality doesn't fear the dark. It dives into it. It respects pain as a teacher, not an enemy. The strong don't seek permission to grow. They create new values through action. They fall, get up, and climb again. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. So here's the challenge. Are you living like a master or just surviving like a slave? Because if comfort is your god, then power, real power, will always be out of reach. Up next, we'll look at how this obsession with safety bleeds into everything, from relationships to politics, and what it's costing us. Chasing joy makes you weak. Here's a hard pill to swallow. The more you need to be happy, the easier it is to control you. Think about it. If your peace depends on feeling good all the time, then anything that promises a little hit of joy, an ad, a politician, a manipulative partner, can own you. You become emotionally fragile, easy to trigger, easy to sell to, and worst of all, easy to lie to. Ever notice how marketing doesn't sell products? It sells feelings? That perfume isn't about scent, it's about confidence. That car? Freedom. That skincare serum? You'll finally love yourself. It's all one giant emotional leash. The same tactic works in relationships. People dangle happiness in front of you like bait. Stick with me, I'll make you feel better. But real talk? If someone else holds the keys to your joy, you're not in a relationship. You're in a cage. This obsession with feeling good 24/7, it doesn't make you strong. It makes you dependent. And the moment something threatens your little bubble, you panic. You reach for your phone, your coping mechanism, your distraction. But here's the truth most won't say out loud. Chasing constant happiness is like trying to breathe only in. Sooner or later, you suffocate. So if happiness isn't something to chase, then what is it really worth? Let's talk about that. Because the only joy that lasts is the kind you earn. The only joy worth having is earned. Joy isn't a gift, it's a trophy. And like any trophy, you've got to fight for it. Real happiness, the kind that doesn't disappear when your Wi-Fi cuts out or your plans fall through, comes from struggle. From pushing through hell and realizing you're still standing. It's not found in a moment, it's forged over time. Look at Steve Jobs. He wasn't grinning through every failure. He got fired from his own company, battled cancer, lived in extremes. But he built something that mattered, and that gave him something deeper than comfort. Winston Churchill? That man carried the weight of a war on his shoulders. He drank, he doubted, he aged 20 years in 5, but he endured. And Viktor Frankl, in Search for Meaning, survived a Nazi death camp, not because he was chasing happiness, but because he created meaning through unimaginable pain. This isn't about being a martyr. It's about understanding that joy without effort is empty. Like a plastic medal, the sweetest victories are the ones that nearly broke you. Why? Because they remind you who the hell you really are. So stop asking, how can I feel better? And start asking, what am I building? Because once you stop waiting for joy, that's when it starts to show up. Now let's flip the script entirely, because maybe the real problem isn't that you haven't found meaning, it's that you haven't made it yet. Stop looking for meaning, build it. Here's a wild idea. Meaning isn't hiding somewhere out there, waiting to be discovered. It's not buried in a job, a relationship, or a TED Talk. It's built, hammered into shape by what you choose to care about, suffer for, and fight through. And the people waiting for some divine sign, they're wasting time. Nietzsche said it best. He who has a why can bear almost any how. That why doesn't appear out of thin air. You create it. You grab life by the collar and say, this is what I stand for. That's what the strongest people do. They don't beg the universe for a reason to get up in the morning. They give the universe a reason to notice them. Stop passively scrolling through life, waiting for something to feel right. Meaning isn't something you find when things are easy. It's something you impose when everything's falling apart. When the chaos is deafening, that's when you decide, this is mine, this matters. So if you're tired of drifting, tired of numbness, tired of looking, then stop looking, pick something, anything, a cause, a craft, a code, and pour yourself into it. Because in the end, it's not the search that gives your life meaning, it's the struggle to build it. And in the final section, we'll tie it all together, and I'll leave you with a challenge you won't forget. Power is found in voluntary suffering. Want to know the fastest way to get strong, mentally, emotionally, spiritually? Choose your pain. Most people spend their lives running from it. But here's the twist. Suffering is inevitable. What isn't inevitable is whether you control it or it controls you. You hit the gym? That's pain. You launch a business? More pain. You make art, raise a child, fight for a cause. Every meaningful thing in your life comes at a cost. And the people who get ahead aren't the ones who avoid suffering. They're the ones who pick their struggle on purpose. It's like this. You can either walk into the storm with your fists up or wait for it to slam into you unprepared. One makes you tougher, the other leaves you shattered. When you choose your discomfort, even if it sucks, something powerful happens. You start building psychological muscle. You stop flinching. You stop making excuses. You stop being a victim of your own mind. Because here's the truth. Comfort won't save you. It softens you. It sedates you. But choosing pain, that's how you take your power back. So are you ready to suffer on your terms? Good, because that's where real freedom starts. But there's a deeper question. What if the values you're living by, the ones that told you comfort is the goal, are the very things keeping you weak? Rewrite your morality or stay miserable. Here's a brutal question. What if everything you thought was good is actually keeping you weak? Think about it. You've been told your whole life to chase comfort, seek validation, play it safe, stay nice, stay small, stay liked. But who told you that? And more importantly, why? Nietzsche called this the morality of the herd. Slave morality. It's the value system of people who want safety over strength, approval over authenticity. It rewards obedience and punishes ambition. And the scariest part? You might not even realize you're living by it until it's already crushing you. Ever felt guilty for wanting more than what people expect of you? For being too intense, too driven, too loud, too much? That's slave morality, whispering in your ear, telling you to tone it down, be grateful, fit in. But here's the twist. Those rules weren't written for your growth. They were designed to keep you manageable. Now, the antidote? It isn't rebellion for the sake of ego. It's this. Rewrite your morality. Build your own code. One that rewards courage over comfort, truth over popularity, strength over safety. That's master morality. It doesn't ask, will they approve of me? It asks, will I respect myself if I do this? You can either keep living by someone else's script, or you can tear it up and write your own. And when you do, that's when you realize you weren't born for happiness. You were born for something way bigger. You were not born to be happy. Let's just say it out loud. You were not born to be happy. That's not your purpose. That's not the assignment. You were born to struggle, to fall, to bleed, to crawl your way through the chaos and build something out of it. Sounds harsh? Good. Because sugarcoating this stuff is what's keeping people numb. Look around. Everyone's obsessed with chasing bliss. Quick fixes, endless pleasure, zero friction. But the people you admire, the ones who actually matter, they didn't find joy on a beach with a piña colada. They found it in the trenches, in pain, in failure, in becoming. Dostoevsky knew this. He wrote about characters ripped apart by guilt, by contradiction, by unbearable choices. And yet, that suffering, that brutal self-confrontation, is what made them human. To live without hope, he said, is to cease to live. He wasn't romanticizing misery. He was saying, hope is born in hell. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Suffering isn't the problem. It's the price, the furnace that forges you. You want meaning? Earn it. You want peace? Fight for it. You want greatness? Get ready to bleed. Because happiness is fragile. It breaks the moment reality punches back. But meaning, strength, those are built through sweat, through sacrifice, through choosing to rise again and again. So no, you weren't born to be happy. You were born to create meaning, to embody it, to live it. And the sooner you accept that, the freer you become.